All right, welcome back. On RealCopStoriesVideos.com, 358 cop stories. Look them up, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes, depending on content. About 10% gross alerts, really bad stuff. Really bad stuff, okay? Bathroom stuff, prostitutes taking out certain parts of their... Never mind, just look them up, okay? I can't forget them, I can't. It's really gross. The smells, oh boy, it's fun. Vice is so much fun. But look them up. In addition to all those stories, we're over 160 now of question and answer. So ask me a question, and I'll answer you directly, and then we'll put it on tape. Okay, so ask me a question. Just email me at rsbcopstories@gmail.com. And the question was, do I have some scary stories? Here's another one. Working gangs, and it's suits and ties, and the three of us. One guy off, two guys working. And these guys I'd worked with for, together probably 6, 8 months. And then later on, we wound up working together almost 3 years. We worked a year and a half or so as gang officers, just three of us, okay? And then when the unit got bigger, two of those guys, my partners, went to Vice, and then within a 2 month later, I went to Vice. They brought me up there. I had an old supervisor who used to work there, and so we wound up working Vice together for almost 2 years. So we, very tight. To this day, we still see each other, not as often as we can because we're geographically separated, but about once or twice a year we have lunch and talk about old times and laugh at each other's loss of hair and body protruding and all kinds of weird stuff that shouldn't be. The wrong body part, guys, are protruding, if you know what I mean, okay? Anyway, so, good guys. I went to both their retirements, I went to mine, I roasted them. Truly, you can say that they kept all three of us working together. We kept each other alive. There's some really dangerous operations going on here. Okay, so here's one of them. Scary moment? Yeah, it was. In working gangs, we get notices from homicide detectives or robbery detectives that they're looking for certain suspects. And of course, the suspects they're looking for are the homicide guys. The homicide suspects are 100% armed, probably. Robbery suspects, 90% of the time, they're going to be armed. So we're looking after armed suspects, bad guys, gang members. And these aren't your little 15-year-old punks. These are 19, 20, 21-year-old, been in prison a few times, been in California Youth Authority where they send juveniles. They're pretty hardened guys. 20, 21 years old. We see some guys that pretty tough. I mean, you think somebody like that should be at least 40 years old, but these guys are, and most of them don't get to the age of 25 anyway. They get shot or die. But they gave us a want on a suspect, which means they're looking for a murder suspect. So we had this knack, my partner and I work with this one particular partner. We didn't have radios on our hips. These are the old days, just in the car. So once you get out of that car and walk away, you have no communication. We had a habit of getting out of our car. We were in suits now, and go down these paths to these government projects where all the gang members hang out at, looking for suspects. And without getting too far off the line here, most of the time we'd line 3 or 4 of them up, and they knew who we were. We searched them, and once in a while somebody would get like feisty, start to back against the wall. And of course I had a cross draw then, and I'd reach over, pull my gun out, put it on my side. I'd go, "You want some of this?" And they'd look over and they, whoa, whoa, these guys, whoa, okay. And they were Latino, we were Latino. They know that we're not going to take any crap. Maybe they can take that. Maybe they can, pull the holes over the eyes of a black officer or a white officer, but not us. We're all from the same cut of leather here, so to speak. And another story about that, about nodding and stuff, which I don't want to get into that. But anyway, so we're walking down there and we see about 4 or 5 guys sitting around, and far away we're looking. They're busy talking. They didn't see us, so we just kind of walk along. It's daylight. It's like an hour before dark. We're walking along. We're not saying anything. We're just walking. We don't yell police unless it's like TV where they yell 3 blocks away, then you chase them for 10 blocks. No. We get as close on as we can. Well, they didn't seem to bother them very much. So we walk up, and as we get closer, our partner looks down at one guy, and he was a Latin guy, but his hair was light brown, almost like a redhead color. He was a mix of something, but he had his name on the back of his neck. I won't say what the name is because it doesn't really matter, but his nickname was tattooed in the back of his neck. This was the murder suspect we're looking for. Brutally killed somebody, shot a witness. I mean, the guy's a bad guy. Probably 23 years old, 22 years old. So we walk up, and I noticed some other gang members sitting there, and no one's been searched, no one's done anything. And so as soon as my partner sees it, he goes, "It's him." Okay. So out comes our third and fourth partner, Smith and Wesson. And tell everybody to prone out. And they're like, "Hey," because remember, these are not young kids. They've been around the block. And so, now we're yelling, "Roll, get on the ground!" So you can see on cops, they're yelling. And they're slowly doing this. And we're always suspecting someone's going to have a gun, okay? So, again, they're doing it very slowly. So we're trying to, watch them all. There's like 6 of them, and your eyes are just all over the place. So they finally all get down. And of course, so now you're arguing with us, blah, 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 blah. So I see a lady looking out her window of the projects, as they're called projects, or government housing. So we're kind of moving this way to get in position, and so I'm moving close to her, and I'm waiting till they don't look at me. They're looking at my partner's yelling at him, so they're looking at him, and so I yell in Spanish, "Call the police! We're the police! Call the police! We're the police!" in Spanish, and she goes, "I guess she closed the drapes." I'm going, "Well, I hope she does, because we don't have enough handcuffs for these guys, and one of them's wanted for murder, and if we grab one guy, the other guy might jump us." And we'll put it this way, I hate to sound cocky, but I was, and I am today. If we had go to capture one guy, the murder suspect, and they got up to rescue him, it's not going to go well. I'm going home that night. Can I make this clear? Okay. And I'm going to shoot whoever's going to get near me, and so is my partner. And we talked about this before. My other partner did too. The 3 of us, we were like the 3 amigos here. Only serious stuff here. And we always talked about that. Always talked about that. One partner had 5 kids. The other one had 2. I got 2. So we're ready to take care of business here. So we waited, and we waited. Turns out the supervisor told me when he got there was 3 minutes. Okay. Now in an urban setting, in the projects, that's a long time. Now I'll give you an example. Okay. If you have time today, and watch my videos, look at your watch, set your second hand, or look at the second hand, and tick off 3 minutes. Just sit there and not do anything for 3 minutes. Okay, that's 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Okay? Try that. 3 minutes. Okay, what's my math here? 180? Okay, that's a long, long time. And again, a little sweat down the back of my neck. Body parts are constricted. Okay? We're yelling the whole time to let them know, because again, this is an alpha beta thing here. It's alpha versus alpha. Gang members only know strength. Okay, if you start to weaken, they might get up and run. Well, I don't care if they run, but I don't want to run at us. And our primary focus was that murder suspect. These other guys, I'm sure, well, I'll tell you later what they're involved in. But the primary directive, like Star Trek, is that guy for wanted for murder. He gets up and runs, we're going to shoot him. We even talked about that afterwards, that we had the same mindset, because he's wanted for murder. He could get up and either carry a weapon, or he could go murder again, and he's not going to get very far. Okay, so we're on the whole time. 2 minutes, nothing's happened. I'm thinking she never called. Damn it. Okay, and I'm thinking I'm going to have to go back to the police car and leave my partner, because I'm the radio guy. I don't want to do that. As soon as I turn that corner, they're going to jump him. So we're going to have to do something. We figured later on we were going to put the handcuffs on the murder suspect, and let's see what happens. Let's see who does what when we put handcuffs on. Wasn't going to end well. Not for us. Okay, but anyway. So 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes, I hear sirens. Okay. She called the cops. Okay. So there's buildings, then there's crosswalks and walkways. Well, these police cars are coming down on the grass, burning out, throwing grass up as here they come, black and whites, come in sideways. And then we're telling, take everybody in custody. Of course, we run to the murder suspect, and all these cops run to everybody, so we're hooking everybody up. Well, which really weird, he's wanted for murder. He was 5 other gang members there. They're all in their early 20s. Nobody had a gun. It's really weird. Okay, but I think they did that because they know if they're out there and they get jacked by the police, that, nobody has guns. I'm sure there was guns nearby. We searched all over in the bushes, and with a couple of cars we knew that were theirs. No, they were clean. So maybe they were just having a day off. I don't know. I didn't think gang members took days off. But anyway, so searched them all. Of the 5 that were left over, 2 had felony warrants, 1 for robbery, 1 for car theft. The other guys had a misdemeanor warrants, like for DUI and beer and stuff. So they all went to jail. Everybody went to jail. It's pretty cool. I mean, my supervisor rolled, another supervisor rolled, because they heard we had a special call sign. So my supervisor knew it was us, so he's rolling. And then the patrol guys knew it was a gang unit, and he wanted to roll because that was his area, that the sergeant, where he supervised people in that area. So everybody's there. So we get everybody up, and we've got our guy. I got a hold of him, and my partner walks over to our sergeant and the other sergeant, because now the sergeants get together to coordinate who's going to do what. And so we told him we had it for murder. And, whoa, yeah, that's right. This is so and so. He had the flyer, and we had a little booklet with flyers in it. Good job, good job. And then the other sergeant, my sergeant told the other sergeant, "Would you mind if these guys took the rest of the bodies?" And of course, the officers they want it, because we don't get credit or bounty on anything, but they get accolades at the end of the month for how many arrests they make. And they don't really care who gave them the body or what. In other words, the arrest. Oh, they're happy to take the body. They got a felony over here, got a felony over there. They're happy to take these bodies. Whereas that way, if they didn't take the bodies, then they drive off grumbling that I could be getting a body somewhere else, but I had to respond to these guys, and all I did was sit there and babysit, and then I had to let go, and I didn't get any credit for any of this. So it all works out really well. We call it bodies. It's just an arrest. So they're all happy. Everybody's happy. Everybody got an arrest. Off they took all the arrestees, and we got our guy, and it was so important that as we're coming back, our supervisor had already left. He calls the homicide guys in. It was like 6 o'clock. They're already home. And says, we got your suspect. You want us to book him or do you want to come out and talk to him? Oh, shit, they were there in 40 minutes, man. Because it's important. These are the best thing you can do. And if you watch some of these cop shows, I hate to mimic to the cop shows. This is real life. But the quicker you get to a suspect, to interview him, the better. You know, they once show 48 hours, first 48, something like that. Mm-hmm. It's very true. And it's the same with these suspects. You put them in a cell, throw them in there, and then homicide comes in, and they come in. They're the good guys. They come in, they'll talk to them, bring them a bottle of water, a soda. Are you hungry? You know, you haven't eaten. You know, they're softening them up, and that's fine. That's good interrogation. They bring them McDonald's hamburgers. The guy's eating, and they start talking. They want to get statements from them too, so they can get them later in court. So that worked out extremely well. This is one of those capers like the last one where during it, my level of fear was probably about a 7 out of 10, and then as the minutes clicked by, got to 8.5. And we talked about this later after we got him into custody, that him and I were thinking the same thing, that if nobody shows up, we're going to have to take him into custody. We were both thinking it without talking to each other, because we were both very close as partners, so we thought almost exactly the same. Really bizarre, the three of us. But that night, him and I. So the level went up really fast. And then when of course, like everything else, you hear the sirens coming, then it starts to drop down, because here comes the cavalry. As soon as you see the first police car, then it pretty much drops down that we're safe, and it's going to be all well, and everything's cool, you know. So then we got a commendation for that from the homicide guys. They wrote us a commendation for getting that guy, and we just read it, and we went back and gave the lady some flowers later on for calling the police. I thanked her, and she was really nice about that. First, she didn't know what we were doing there. Had some flowers, and then her husband was there, and what's going on? And I told her to let us in, because I don't want the neighbors to see that we're there, because even though we're in suits, neighbors don't like cops sometimes. So we went inside, and he thought somebody was in trouble, the husband. And I told him what happened, and this, and that. He looked like, whoa. And so we gave her some flowers, and I think my partner gave her some candy. And we thanked her very much for that and really appreciate it. And we told her, and we all kind of sat down, and they brought us some lemonade. We didn't drink it. Not that I don't trust anybody, but that's fine. And, we started talking. You know, she had like 5 kids, and we talked about how we had kids. And you could see them really in awe that actually officers would talk to them, which is really, you know, because people just live their lives. And I mean, how many times you had somebody sit down in your living room, talk to a couple policemen? I mean, you know, really, when you're not a victim of a crime or you haven't done anything really stupid or anything like that. So they could tell that they were very appreciative. She gave me a hug. Gave us both a hug. I thanked the husband for having a really nice wife. And it was really nice, very nice moment there. We didn't have to do that, but you got to do it once in a while, and we felt really good about that. So that was a dangerous situation, not freaking out dangerous, but pretty close. When the minutes were ticking off, things were tensing up, and yeah. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.